I'm Muskan Khandelwal and you are watching Indian Masterminds. Today, we have with us an IS officer who relishes multitasking. Besides being a successful bureaucrat, she is a physical fitness enthusiast, a doting mother of 2 children, has a powerful presence on social media, and now she's an author as well. She is Tripura's resident commissioner, Ms. Sonal Goyal, who secured 13th rank in the UPSC CSC 2008. Today, we will talk to her about her journey on her book, Nation Calling. So, welcome to Indian Masterminds, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
And congratulations on your launch of the first book.
Thank you.
So, starting with, if you can share with us, what is the inspiration behind writing this book?
I would say that the title itself, the title which I have kept is like Nation Calling.
Yes.
So that is a commitment which I have tried to deliver and fulfill for my country. And as part of my service being in the IS, I got the opportunity of working in 2 states, Tripura and Haryana. And in both the states, I was primarily posted in the field postings. And I got the opportunity of interacting with people, interacting with the younger generation, and also see what are their issues and how I can contribute effectively. So that feeling of an overwhelm and that feeling of a commitment that actually persuaded me to kind of pen down not only my experiences but also become a guide and a mentor for the younger generation, for the UPSC aspirants, because it has been now almost like 3 years that through my social media platforms, through my physical interactions, through my visits at various colleges and universities across the country, I have been interacting with them and I have been mentoring the civil services aspirants who are preparing for the UPSC, who are preparing for the state civil services examination. And that is how this notion was in my mind from past almost an year, that I am still not able to communicate and reach out to everyone. So I thought to have this kind of a book in which I am discussing not only about the strategy of the civil services examination, but also what if not civil services and what actually it takes for a young gen, for the youth of the country who are the future powerhouse, to contribute towards the nation building, to contribute towards the society. And that is how this idea came in. And then it took me almost, I would say, 5-6 months to collate the experiences, to jot down. And it has been quite a rewarding experience. And this book, Nation Calling, holistic approach to UPSC civil services examination, has been recently launched. It has been unveiled by the Honorable Union Minister Shri Kiran Rijiju in presence of the Vice Chancellor of Jamia Millia, Professor Najma Akhtar Madam, and senior civil servants from different services, from students of Delhi University, from academicians, from people working in government. So I'm really thankful to everybody for their support, for their blessings. And of course, I feel that, yes, this is my small contribution of giving back to the society, of guiding and mentoring the youth of the country.
That's really great, ma'am. तो आपने जैसे अभी कहा कि आपके बुक में strategies के बारे में है for UPSC CSC preparation. So if you could like tell us कुछ key takeaways जो आपके बुक में हैं.
See, strategy is like, because this UPSC civil services examination is quite a long drawn process. Matlab, whenever I discuss with the students, I always tell them ki minimum like 1 year before the prelims examination, you have to start preparing. It is the minimum. And then of course the stage wise preparation. So prelims means an interview. So it basically takes a minimum of 2 years. And if we talk about strategy, so basically when one is deciding to appear for civil services, so one thing is very important to understand, that the purpose or the reason of being in civil services, like why anyone wants to be in civil services. This reason or why should be very important and clear to someone's mind. And then my chapter in the beginning, because I have actually in my chapter, in fact, because I really felt overwhelmed when I was writing this, when I was collating this. So my initial chapter before the strategy is about the overall importance of civil services in the nation building, and also the overall pattern of the UPSC examination. So that if somebody is actually willing to take this examination, so one should be clear that what all it takes to be in civil services, what is the importance and contribution of civil services. And of course, it is not a cakewalk. And I also tell the students that clearing this examination is a very small aspect or a very small leg in your journey towards your nation calling, towards nation building. And of course, once you qualify in the civil services and once you join your posting, then it is altogether a different ballgame. So my first chapter basically deals about the importance and the overview. And then I have also given a chapter on the insights gained and the lessons learned, a very brief about my journey. So I want the students to understand that what are the positives associated with the civil services, like what are the opportunities which they are going to get, and of course the challenges associated. What are the cons, what are the consequences of, or I would say the occupational hazards. What are the occupational hazards of being in civil services? So what are the challenges which they have to prepare in their mind? So, when we're talking about the strategy, so initially this thing is very important that you be clear that what is it that is the motivation which is forcing you to be in this service. And then when we talk about strategy, so isme I have detailed 3 chapters which are specifically dealing into each stage. So the prelims, mains and interview, because the strategy for all 3 are not very similar. They are not very different also, but they have some unique things associated with the pattern. So for example, prelims is entirely a objective type. So when we are talking about objectives, so you have this CSAT, you have mental aptitude along with the GS, which was not there in my time. When I appeared in my during my preparation 2006 and 2007, I gave 2 attempts. So during that time, we had 1 optional in the prelims, but now the pattern is changed. And now, of course, in the mains also, there is only 1 optional. We had 2 optionals, and my optionals were commerce and public administration. So the strategy is different, and at least 1 year prior to that, one has to start preparing. And for example, if a student is intending to prepare for, say, 24 prelims, so now we are in October. So he or she already should have started preparation. And when I talk to the aspirants, I generally advise to them is that at least 1 year prior to the prelims, you have to start your preparation. So 1 year would mean that, say, April, May of 23, one should have started. And initial 5 to 6 months are on the overall foundation link. So overall foundation link would mean that you have a combined study of the entire syllabus of the UPSC for both prelims and mains. And that is on more on the conceptual clarity, going through the syllabus, reading the topics, making your notes. That is very important. And then, of course, next 3 to 4 months should be dedicated towards your main strategy. Because mains you get quite less time after your prelims. That time is very insufficient. So initially, once you're preparing, when you're preparing before your prelims, you have some time devoted to specifically to your mains preparation. And in mains, it is very important to have an understanding of the topics as well as your ability to write effectively, because this is totally subjective. तो आपको जितना पता है उससे उसको कैसे अच्छे से लिखना है, दैट इज द ट्रिक ऑफ स्कोरिंग गुड मार्क्स इन द मेंस. सो वो तभी होगा जब आपका खुद का रिवीजन अच्छा हो, व्हेन यू हैव आंसर राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस, व्हेन यू हैव रिपीटेड रिविजन्स, व्हेन यू हैव योर ओन नोट्स. एंड बाय मेकिंग नोट्स आई डू नॉट मीन कि आप पूरा जो भी मटेरियल पढ़ रहे हैं, जो भी बुक पढ़ रहे हैं, उसको पूरा अलग से लिखना है. नॉट लाइक दैट. एवरीबडी हैज़ अ डिफरेंट वे ऑफ स्टडिंग. So what I used to do is that I used to make, like for example, if I'm reading a chapter, I would read the chapter and then on maybe the initial part of the chapter, I will make a slip and I will write the important points and attach staple with that. That is how I used to prepare. I used to prepare my notes for the revision. And in mains, it is very important that you have repeated revision as well as your answer writing practice. Mock tests are very important. And then of course, उसके बाद जब prelims होगा, तो prelims से 2-3 महीने पहले, you have to shift to your objective type preparation. You have to prepare for your mental aptitude for your CSAT. That is very, very important. And of course, prelims may, sometimes it is not necessary that you are able to know everything. Some questions you even attempt by way of elimination, MCQs. And of course, there is a negative marking, so one needs to be careful. It is not required to attempt all questions in prelims. Whereas in mains, I always suggest the aspirants that attempt every question, because mains mein there is no negative marking. So this is how, and then after prelims, you appear for your mains, and then after that, you have your interview. So this is how one has to kind of schedule their plan. Time management is very important when we're talking about any strategy. Your time management becomes very crucial. What you are studying, what you are reading is also very, very important. It is not like any other examination. That is why it is said that UPS Civil Services is the mother of all examinations in the country. And people from IIT, IIMs, people from good colleges, universities, people from Hindi background, people from different languages, from rural background, everybody, it's a level playing field. So one needs to understand how effectively they are able to utilize their time, how profoundly they are able to write and express what they already know. That is very important.
Your father asked you to keep a plan B.
Yeah.
अभी यूपीएससी का कंपटीशन भी बहुत ज़्यादा है, so is plan B must for aspirants?
I rather advise students कि they are, investing prime years of their youth. Minimum 2 to 3 years. कोई भी जो serious aspirant है, इतना time लग जाता है. So 2 years to examination का 1 साल पहले तैयारी में, and then 1 year during the examination तो लगता है. तो and for example, if you are not able to clear in maybe 2 or 3 attempts also, then you are investing your 3-4 years of your prime, जिसमें आप कुछ alternative भी कर सकते थे. So therefore, this having a plan B in mind is very necessary, because otherwise it will lead to demotivation. Then you will actually feel कि आपकी attempts जितने आपको देने थे वो attempts भी हो गए हैं and you are nowhere. And it will actually lead to frustration and there would... So basically, by plan B, what I mean is not... Even some people criticize कि हम plan B रखेंगे तो हमारा main focus हट जाएगा. We would not be doing our 100%. But I don't agree to that. By plan B, I mean that if you are not able to clear civil services, then जो आपका main जो purpose है, जो आपका I use an acronym which I have mentioned in the book also, Vision, Goal, Plan and Action, VGPA. VGPA is Vision, Goal, Plan and Action. So आपका जो overall vision है life में क्या करना है, what is your overall orientation in the in your life journey? If that is with you, then if you're not reaching it through your civil services path, then of course there would be some other option.
Right.
So for example, people ask me कि आपका plan भी क्या रहता? For example, आपका नहीं clear होता, तो मेरा plan भी बहुत clear था कि मैं फिर civil services का अगर नहीं होता तैयारी, तो corporate sector का मेरा profile, क्योंकि already I was a CS and I was doing my law, so I would have joined a corporate sector profile. And I already had some work experience when I was preparing. And along with that, for my inner calling of doing something good for the society, I would have maybe set up my NGO, or civil society organization, and then do something good for the country, for the people, for the benefit of the people. Now also I am associated with few of the NGOs who are doing good work. जो मुझे time लगता है, मैं उनकी activities में जाती हूँ, participate करती हूँ. So that was my plan B. So what I mean to say is that your overall vision and then goals are the achievable units. So जो आपका overall जो vision है उसको break करेंगे. Achievable units are like कि 2 साल में क्या करना है, 3 साल में क्या करना है, 5 years में क्या करना है. And then plan is like how do you reach up to the execution of those goals, and then action, your efforts. So everything is incomplete or you will not be able to achieve unless you give your efforts into it.
Right.
So therefore it is important that प्लान भी इसलिए थोड़ा सा माइंड में होना ज़रूरी है कि आपका जो अपने ऊपर विश्वास है वो कम नहीं होना चाहिए, एंड देन यू आर एबल टू सेल थ्रू द फेजेस ऑफ सेल्फ डाउट एंड डीमोटिवेशन. बिकॉज जो भी एक सिंसियर सिविल सर्विसेज का एस्पिरेंट होता है उसकी लाइफ में डीमोटिवेशन के फेजेस आना मैंडेटरी है. I always tell aspirants that if you are preparing seriously and if you are sincerely giving your efforts, तो ये लो फेजेस ऑफ मोटिवेशन आएंगे ही आएंगे. और अगर ये नहीं आ रहे तो इसका मतलब आप सीरियस नहीं हो. दिस इज वेरी क्लियर. इफ यू आर नॉट गिविंग दोज हिकअप्स एंड दोज एप्रीहेंशंस कि क्या होगा, वेदर आई एम डूइंग राइट और नॉट, then definitely it means you are not serious about it. So if you are serious and you are getting those phases, so what is important is that you also know that how do you get overcome out of these phases. आपके जो hiccups हैं इससे आप कैसे आप कैसे बाहर आ रहे हो. इसी के लिए आपका जो है your mental strength is also important. Mental health is very important now. Physical health के साथ साथ mental health and well-being is also very very important. So these are few things, which I always guide the aspirants to keep in mind.
That's really great, ma'am. So in your book, you have described a lot of anecdotes about your 16 years of career.
Yeah.
So can you please share a few incidents that may inspire the aspirants?
So in fact, there is one more aspect before I come to, my journey. So to make it more relevant, because मुझे लगता है कि मुझे clear किए हुए अभी काफ़ी time हो गया, 18 year plus हो गए since I'm in service. So to make the preparation or the strategy more relevant and to have a broader perspective, I have interviewed 3 recent toppers, 2022 UPSC toppers, 3 of them, who also have had a very inspirational kind of a journey. And उनकी journey and उनकी तरफ से जो strategy tips है वो भी इस book के अंदर है. And the officers now, of course, they are undergoing training, and I shared them about my book launch. They were also very happy and delighted, even though I wanted to give to them personally. But right now they are in their training academy in Labasna. So Suraj Tiwari, who became a sensation because his journey has been so inspiring that despite his physical disabilities, he cleared this. And I met Suraj in JNU in a program, and then I was so overwhelmed to listen to his inspiring story. So Suraj's interview is here. Then there is one more officer, Deepika Agarwal. She's from Sikkim, and her journey is also very inspiring. And also one more officer, Dwij Goyal. So all three have, in quite amount of detail, they have shared their own journey, their strategies and their tips. So I think for the UPSC aspirants, even this chapter is very, very important. And then, of course, it is my journey. So the title of the journey, like my chapter is My Journey, Navigating Pathways of Achievement from Academia to Administration. So from Academia to Administration, because as I mentioned कि मेरा initially में कभी मन नहीं, मतलब ऐसा कोई orientation नहीं था कि civil services में जाना है. But then, of course, I think it is destiny, and that is your inner calling that inspires you, and that is how I came into civil services. And in my journey, in fact, I have बहुत ज़्यादा डिटेल में मैंने वो चैप्टर नहीं रखा है, बिकॉज आई फेल्ट कि मेरी जर्नी ऑलरेडी जो है ना, थ्रू माई सोशल मीडिया, थ्रू द यूट्यूब वीडियोज एंड ऑल, पीपल आर क्वाइट अवेयर अबाउट दैट. सो मैंने बहुत ही ब्रीफली वो चैप्टर को लिखा है. And that is basically covering the journey in both the states, in Tripura and Haryana, because I worked in Tripura for initial 7.5 years. Then I came to Haryana on intercadre deputation. Then I joined back Tripura, and then since last year I'm posted as the resident commissioner. So वो journey बहुत challenging भी रही है. Staying in Tripura initially, I had actually to make lot of adjustments because I never stayed out of my home also. Like Lavasna was a first hostel for me. So always stayed in the northern part of the country. So it's a very beautiful state. Tripura is a very beautiful state in the northeastern part. People are very loving and people are very warm. So वहाँ पे जितना भी मेरा postings रहा, my agenda was very clear. It was to interact with the people and work for the society. That was there. So I used to tour on field. My first posting was in District Dhalai. I was STM Ambasa. So they were very remote. It was a predominantly a tribal village committee area subdivision. So I used to tour. I interacted with the tribal people living in the distant hamlets. And during one of my like administrative camps and visits, I found that there are some hamlets जिसमें there are connectivity issues. So it is like way back in 2010, almost 13-14 years back, that people are not accessible because you don't have motorable roads up to the last mile connectivity. So we used to walk on foot for 7, 8, 10 kilometers, reach up to those areas. My team used to be there. And then we also found that the basic services like the health, PHC, the school, the Anganwadi centers, they are not working properly.
Okay.
So I took the help of local BSF, which was posted there. We made requests to their commandants, and they allowed the stay facility for the officials who are working in the school, who are working in the Anganwadi center, who are working in the primary health center. And then they used to commute from Monday to Friday. They used to stay in the BSF facility. And then they used to come back on weekend for their family, then go back again. So by this mechanism, actually, there was this revival of these services in the remote areas, which was very satisfying kind of an experience. And then we did in one para, one habitation. Then we did in different other habitations. Almost, I think 7 or 8 of them had similar kind of issues. So even if it is like 250 to 300 people, then also your small efforts and initiatives are able to bring some positive change in their lives. And this is what is the, I would say, the beauty and the opportunity being given by the civil services. And then, of course, throughout my journey, there have been many learning experiences. I would say कि ऐसा भी काफ़ी कुछ है जो कि मैं करना चाहती थी but मैं नहीं कर पाई because there is a paraphernalia in which a civil servant has to work. Things are not very easy.
Right.
There are many things which you want to do. Of course, मैंने वो negative चीज़ें कम लिखी हैं because I'm a person who always tries to remember the positive aspect of life and to eliminate even from my thinking process the negative things associated. So वो positive things ही मैंने इसमें ज़्यादा highlight की है. And then of course my work experience in Haryana, and Haryana में my posting in Faridabad, Jhajjar, Gurgaon, Gurugram. So, and in Gurgaon, when I was there, it was a peak COVID time, and then how we rose to the occasion, how we actually helped people fight with resilience. And in Jhajjar, it has been a patriarchy-dominated district. So after many years, they had seen a lady officer, a woman officer as a deputy commissioner. So initially when I used to tour, so they were not even, realize that yes, she's a lady officer. It was a surprise for them to see a woman officer as a deputy commissioner. So I think, but it is your intention, your genuineness, and how you communicate with people, and of course your teams.
Right.
Your team building exercise is very, very important, and they are the ones who actually, and also this is very important that you know that you're there for a limited time, because our jobs are transferable, our postings, we are never sure. So I have also tried to build sustainable systems. So by that I mean that if I am transferred, say for example, from this place very soon, then there should be people, there should be some systems which are taking the responsibility and things are carried on.
Right.
That is also one important thing which I always used to try. Yes.
So all in all, it has been a very great journey.
A great fulfilling journey, of course, with some of the reflections, I would say, that yes, this could have been done in a better way like this. And एक कुछ खालीपन है कहीं कहीं पे कि हम उसको उस तरीके से और अच्छा कर सकते थे अगर ये हुआ होता तो. that realization is definitely there, that things could have been much better. And there are some things which even I could not do, which remain unfulfilled. They are there, yes.
That's great, ma'am. So thank you so much, ma'am, for giving your time. This was really a very inspirational talk, I must say.
Thank you
We
so
hope
much.
that this book reach more and more aspirants so that they can get a very good strategy given by you.
Thank you so much, and my best wishes to all the aspirants. Every journey has to begin, my dear friends, with a small step. So don't hesitate in taking that small step. Keep believing in your efforts, keep giving your best. And in the end, I would just like to mention that do not limit your challenges. Challenge your own limits. Challenge your own limits. Keep challenging your own limits. And of course, align your personal goals with the goals of the nation and society, and resonate with this call of nation calling. Nation calling. I hope this book would act as a guide and a mentor for you all. My best wishes to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.